Hey guys, it's Kate. I thought we would play together on the jelly plate today. I've had this for a while and I made some jelly prints a while ago, but I thought I would break it out again. So I was just kind of playing around and then I was thinking, well, I might as well turn on the camera and do some jelly prints with you all. So hopefully you'll sit with me and make some textures and some interesting colors. I've got a selection of acrylic paints over here. I mean, a pile of them. So we'll just play around with those. I've got my brayer and a couple little tools, some stencils, and we'll just see what we get today. So I've made these few so far, and I really love how this turned out. I've got this one that's kind of iridescent. I put some silver acrylic paint on that with one of my stencils, and that came out really nice. And this one's a little bit plainer, but it almost reminds me of, I don't know, some kind of clouds or something. It really came out neat, and it's just kind of how it blended on the plate. So let's do a few. I've just got some plain old copy paper, and I plan on using these for a collage or some collage. I want to make some collage papers, so let's just have some fun. So I'm going to start off just grabbing some colors. So I have this violet gray from 12 Shades of Gray. I got it at Jerry's Artorama, and I really love this color. It's just this really nice kind of dark neutral purple, and I'm going to mix that with some unbleached titanium from Liquitex. And I'm just going to get my brayer and mix it on up and have some fun. Hope y'all are having a great day today. And I certainly am. It's Friday, so it's always great on Friday. I get to come home and spend time with you. All right. This is kind of like that cloudy look. And I've got just some craft paper down here so I can just use it and be nice and messy and not worry. So I'm going to put this right down and give it a good rub. It was funny because like the shiny side of the jelly plate, it showed my camera, which is right up there. So I put a sheet of paper under it so it kind of hides the camera. I love this. Just the texture is so good. I'm going to try one with a stencil. So I'm going to reprint, I think, on this one. So looking at colors I'd like to add, I think I'm going to go with this rose pink, and that will look pretty nice. So I am going to put my stencil on, just like this, on my clean plate and add a couple of dabs of this paint right on top of the stencil. And I'll take my brayer and roll it right on there. And I don't need it to be perfect. I just want to add some nice texture in a brighter color that's going to go up against that blue nicely. And so wipe off my excess over here and pull my stencil off. And then I'm going to do this one in another print. And give that a good rub. It's kind of fun like this. It's so relaxing to do the jelly prints, and I don't know, it's soothing to rub the paper. It feels so cool underneath your hands. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, that looks great to me. I love that. Yes. Now for this one that I did a little bit ago, I'll show you how I did that. I grabbed my little, why can't I think of the word? Oh my gosh. And I have this color here. My palette knife. There we are. So I just put a little bit of paint on the back. And I just kind of go around and make some marks. you just need a little bit. And be as random as you like, and it'll give you those little pops of color. You can use stencils, you can put down a layer of paint, make some marks. We'll try a few different things today and have some fun. Okay, let me grab this one again. It's dry, and I'm just going to toss it right on here and get that brighter color. This one is Creative Inspirations. I got this on, it's quinacridone rose. I got this at Jerry's Artarama also. And they're really reasonable, and it's got good coverage like the Liquitex. But these, you can get them on sale for just over a couple of bucks a tube, so it's pretty nice. Ooh. I like that a lot. It just has that little bit of color. All right. Let me add some blue right on top of this. And I'm going to do a print with, let's do some metallic. So this is iridescent graphite, and I used it on this one. This is silver on that stencil, but if you look in the background, that has the graphite, and it also has a really nice shimmer to it. So this is a lot more shimmery in person. Hopefully the camera's picking that up. But I'm going to add some of this to the jelly plate. And get that in there with the brayer. This is a nice dark color, and I still have some of that rose on there, so that will show up a little bit too as more texture. I'm just going to roll this in and then get another print. I'm going to get a fresh sheet of paper this time and go right over it. Nice. That looks good to me. Look at that. And you can see that iridescence in the paper. That's awesome. Cool. So now, let's go in here with some unbleached titanium. And I'm going to roll this out and get it nice and spread out. I'm not going to clean off my plate or anything. I'm just going to go on with this. Oh, I have something on here. There. It was the little thing from around the paint tube. That's funny. And we're just going to have fun. Who cares how it turns out? I'm using some plain copy paper and getting that good collage fodder. Nice. Now for this one, I've got a few little shapes that I cut out of plastic, and I'm going to do almost like a negative print, so I'm going to stick these right on here. And have a couple coming off the page too. Just like that. And I'm going to grab one of my darker ones. Let's see. How about this? And rub it in really good where I have my cutouts on here. So I'm going to rub good around those cutouts and try to get a good circle shape. The unbleached titanium is a pretty opaque color, so it should leave kind of a negative on here. Let's see how it turns out. Look at that. That's pretty neat. I like that a lot. Great. Now I'm going to pull these off. And I've still got some leftover paint that'll be on here. And I can pull another print. Oops. If I can get them off. Okay. Now for this one, I'm going to grab this other dark one. I think I've got all of my circles off. Yep. And we've got enough for another print on here. I'm going to give it a good slow rub. Now you can use copy paper, cardstock, anything. Look at that. I love it. It's just such good texture. Okay. Let's do some copper. I love the Liquitex metallics. They're really nice. Oh yeah. That's great. Let's see, what kind of stencil do I want to use? How about this? I'm going to stick this right on top. And let's do this one here. And I'm going to make sure to press this really good inside those holes. And I'm just kind of feeling around with my fingers. Just making sure I get all those little nooks and crannies on the stencil. And just be patient with it. Look at that. Such good texture. Oh, I love it. Okay, then we're still going to get that other print off of there. So let's see what we can do. Let's put it on this one. Oh, look at that copper. Over the purple, it is just so pretty. Look at that. And you can see that negative print there with the flowers, and it looks really nice. That's going to be a nice paper. All right, let's do another one. Okay. I think first I'm going to play around with, let's do these little dots. So I'm going to grab this rose. Again, it's a really nice one. I like it a lot. And I'm just going to dab a little bit on here. Now, this is a smaller stencil, so what I'm going to do is just kind of, hang on. Got this little paint tool. I am going to just kind of go over this and I'm going to kind of avoid having borders there. So I'm just going to go over this and add some dots in some places, just like that. And add another little couple of blobs. And that way it's a little bit more organic looking, so it's not just a square stencil on a piece of paper, even though it kind of looks like that right there. So I'm going to have to fix that. Hang on. Okay. That looks good to me. Now, let's see. Do I have any papers here that don't have too many marks yet? Let's do this one. See what happens. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. Look at that. Now for this, I think I'm going to put on some background. So let's see here. What do we want to put on the back? How about this purple lake? Get our brayer and go right over the top of those dots. And a fresh piece of paper this time. Oh, that's good. I like that. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna keep leaving this on. I'm just gonna truck along. Let's see. Let's put some circles on here again. How about we use a couple of these little ones? Put one there, and how about another big one there? And then, why don't we go with this rose pink? And I'm going to go over the circles. Oops. Okay. Let's get a fresh sheet of paper. That's pretty cool. All right. You know what? Whoops. Let's see what else we can do here. let's do some silver. But instead of going over it with my brayer, I'm going to grab this little doohickey again, and I'm just going to play around with some mark making and make some nice metallic texture. Oops. Just like this. And I'm making it kind of transparent. I'm going to see how it looks over another color, something a little bit darker, and see how that turns out. This piece here is pretty dry now, so let's see what happens. Ooh, look at that silver. That's awesome. I love it. Yes. Now, how about a stencil? Let's do copper this time. Oops. All right. Let's put a little bit down here. How about this one? Oh, look at that copper. That's really nice. I still have some left over here, so I am going to grab this one that I just put the silver on and see if I can get that ghost print. The nice thing about these is they dry so quickly. So let's see what we can come up with. I like that a lot. Look at that shine. All right, let's keep going. Okay, I'm going to go back in with this flower stencil, but I'm going to go over it with some of my titanium white. And I'm going to make some brighter flowers on one of my darker sheets. And I'm going to make it not, you know, too even, I guess. Well, I guess I am, because I'm just going over the whole thing. So that's just going to be what it is. Let's see here. How about this one? This one has a lot of texture, but we'll give it some more. And just rub it right in those stencil holes. I love working on this jelly plate. It's so therapeutic. All right. Let's see what we've got. You know what I forgot to do is take this off, because that's what we're doing now. Let's try that again. I can't believe I did that. But you know what? It still looks pretty good, so I don't mind. That's what happens when you get ahead of yourself and you get too excited. You forget to take your stencil off when you're done rolling on it. Okay, now let's do it the right way. Just like that. That's what we're going for. What else do I have here? Let's do this one. This one isn't busy enough yet. Ooh, I love this. That's nice. That's really pretty. That's going to be a really nice paper. And I was worried about it maybe going over this other pattern, but because of the contrast, this might be my favorite paper. All right, I need to do more. We can't stop. All right, going back into the Purple Lake. Here we go. You know what? I'm going to add something to this. Let's do a little bit of this ultramarine, and we'll mix it up right here on the plate. Yeah, that's nice. And I don't want to mix it too much. Just enough where it kind of gets that little bit of a hazy look. I really like that on my other prints. So I'm going to keep going with that. And I have a little bit of ghost print left still from the white flower stencil. So let's see how this turns out. And I might need 2 prints on it. I've got quite a bit of paint on my jelly plate, so this may not pick up everything, but we'll see. I'm going to rub it for an extra few seconds. I should try using that rice paper that I have. I might have to do another session with rice paper. And I've never used rice paper on a jelly plate before, but I have that rice paper that I had gotten before that I still need to play around with. Well, there's a hint of the flowers. That's kind of neat. I like that texture in there. That's neat. I like that a lot. Okay, this is, I think I'm liking what's going on here. I think I'm going to try to do another print, but I'm going to go behind this with some more of this copper. Let's see how it turns out. And I'm going to go a little bit easier on the paint, so hopefully I can pick everything up on another sheet of paper. And just do an easy layer. Whoops, an easy layer. Oh, this is going to be a pretty nice pull. Look at that. Wow. Look at that copper on there and all that texture from the, just that leftover paint that was there on the plate. That's awesome too. Look at these together. Those will look really pretty. That's great. Okay. What do we want to do next, guys? I don't know. I've got these colors here. I'm going to break into this violet gray again. Let's do that and maybe mix some copper in with it. See how that goes. I think that's going to be really nice. Now, I think with this one, I want to try to put just maybe some marks in it. I'm just using the back of my little palette knife, making some dots. How about that? Let's see what we get. Ooh. That's interesting. Okay, let's see what else. Now, I am going to go back to this one. Stick this on here. It's all dry. This is one I think could use a nice little pattern on it. So what color do we want to use here? I've got all of these. Do we want to go with titanium white? Do we want to go with a copper? Do we want to go with this iridescent graphite maybe? Man, the sky's the limit here. Who knows? You know what? Let's go with... I'm loving the copper today. Let's do some more copper. Oh, you know what? No, let's do silver. I haven't used enough silver, and that's really pretty too. Might need to put a little more on here. I really love the silver. I think it's a little bit more transparent than the copper, because on one of my other sheets I kind of had some on there and it didn't show up quite as much, but the sparkle shows up absolutely. And so you can tell when you're looking at it from different angles. Oops. So let's see how this turns out. can see the shine. It's just got that bit of extra interest. When you're just looking straight on, it's kind of hard to see. But as soon as you turn it toward the light, that pattern just pops out of there. That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. Okay. Now, I'm going to go back into this rose. And some of this iridescent graphite. That's nice. Oops. There's a bit of paint on there. Now I'm going to do, let's see. I have another stencil back here that I have not used yet, and it's just got a couple of borders on it. So let's do a print with that, and then maybe take another ghost print. I'm going to go back to this paper right here, which I love, and just see how this turns out. Add a little bit of extra pattern. And I'm just getting into these holes that are on the stencil, trying to get the best print I can off of this and feeling my way around. Let's see. I love that. It just adds that bit extra. Oh, that's really nice. Now I can come back in and take another print. Let's see what shows up on this paper. It's going to be a pretty light print, so I should still be able to see to the back. Yes. And adds a little bit more shine. This one's going to need, I think, a lighter color, some white maybe on another layer. But a lot of layers on these, it makes it so nice. I'm going to revisit this one. So I've got my copper, I've got that gray. What else do we want to add here? How about, let's do another stencil. How about we come in with this one again, and we'll put some unbleached titanium in here. Just like that. Oop, almost forgot to take this off again. Can you believe it? Okay, let's stick this on and see what happens. Very nice. And you see that sparkle from the copper? Oh, beautiful. Now I've got this ghost print on here. I'm going to go back on here with a darker color. I am going to go back on, let's see, with this blue. And get this all spread in there right over that titanium white and those extra marks on here because I love that texture. It's gorgeous. And I've got kind of a thin layer, so hopefully it picks everything up off the plate. All those extra layers. And let's go in with a fresh piece of paper. I'm going to give it a good rub. Very nice. Nice. Okay. Now let's see. This one, this is dry. So let's add some texture there. I'm going to grab one of my other stencils. I've got this one with some bubbles on it. I'm going to go right in with that. And I don't care about that one bit. Let's do titanium white. What the heck? I'm just putting it right here on my little paint spreader thing. A little homemade tool. Okay, let's put this a little bit diagonal. And I'm just trying to be kind of random. I want those bubbles, but I don't want it to be like an obvious square stencil. So I'm putting a hint in some places. That looks pretty good to me. Okay, let me just add a little extra there. Okay, how's that? Let's go in with this piece. I love that too. Wow. That's really neat. That's really neat. Okay. Boy, we're getting some good stuff here, I think. Let's see if this takes up any. I have a little bit of the white left over on there. It might be too dry, but we'll give it a try. Oh yeah. That's really cute. That's a good one. Boy, what are we gonna do next, guys? Jeez. I think this, well, boy, I just don't know. I just don't know. I've got this stencil too. You know what I might do? I know. Back to the copper. Let's grab some copper and put some more on here. And I'm just being yep. All right. Okay, I'm going to take this paper again and going to put it on my copper dots. I just love this. I better probably cut this off though because this is going to be such a long video. Yes. I do love the copper. And look at, I mean, oh, I just love that. I love the sparkle. This one and that blue one might be my two favorites. But that's why you have fun, just experimenting and having a good time. You just never know what's going to happen. I'm going back into this rose. I really love it. I'm betting it's going to look pretty good with that copper too. So let's see what happens here. I'm going to go in with my brayer and I'm just going straight in for this pink. Nice and saturated. It's like magenta fuchsia. Well, it's quinacridone rose, but all right. You know what? I wonder, let's try making just some little stripes on here. How about that? That might be cool. And I'll just wipe off the excess paint back here on my little craft paper mat and see what we get. I'm going to get a fresh piece of paper for this. I can feel the little lines from where the paint kind of pushed up next to the palette knife. That's kind of a neat feeling. All right. Oh, that's kind of neat. Look at that. You know, it's like like the American flag or something. Not on purpose, but I guess I know what to do for the 4th of July, I suppose. All right. What else? I think I'm going to do a layer of this unbleached titanium and some of that blue. And I'll pick up leftover rose and a little bit of that copper. I love that mess that gets left over on the plate though, because it just adds that something that you can't really get from painting with brushes or any of that stuff. That's what's so neat about these mono prints. it's hard to control. You don't know what you're going to get. I think you can make these homemade. I've seen some videos, but honestly, the time it takes, I'd probably just buy one. But there's different brands out now, I think, that are kind of like copycats of the Gelli plate. If that's the original one, I don't know. I don't know enough about Gelli plates, but they are out there with competitors. And it's a really enjoyable process. And I mean, think of what you might spend on collage papers. And if you're making your own, then you can really do pretty well. I mean, what would I have paid for a paper pack, even on sale? All right, that's pretty neat. That's going to need a little bit of something, but that's cool. Okay, what do we want to do with these stripes? I am thinking we go back. Ugh, my stencils. All the little edges kind of stick together. I'm thinking we go back to these flowers. So I'm going to do another layer. And since I have this rose, I'm going to kind of knock this back a little bit. That's pretty bright with the stripes and everything. It's a loud piece. So let's see, what do we want to do? Let's go in with this violet gray. Just like that. Get that brayer out and spread a nice layer. I love this color. It's dark and rich, but also pretty neutral, and it just leaves a nice texture. And I'm going to do a print on the stencil first. That's pretty. That might be one of the most unusual ones I've made today. Okay. Now, let's pick this up on a fresh sheet. Because I think I'm gonna brighten this one a little bit, so I don't really want to put more of that violet gray on it. So let's do this one instead. I should have thought of putting copper on this. That would have been nice for that first sheet. I didn't even think of it. But you know what? I can do it with another one. Oh, look at this. That's really cool. Yeah? Okay, I'm going to hold this up. I mean, look at that texture. That's incredible. Some of this reminds me of like that old wallpaper. That's really neat. Okay, I'm bringing this back out with, for this, let's do some of this rose pink. And I'm going to be just kind of all over the place with it. some more paint on here. I just can't get over how easy it is to just keep on going. Like, I could do this all night and still have papers like, oh no, I have more I have to do. But I need to cut this video because otherwise we'll be here all night. Okay, what do you think of that? I think we can work with that. And then take this paper and stick it on. Excellent. That's good stuff. Let's put a little bit on this one. What the heck, right? Let's do it. A little bit more. It almost kind of fades into the background a little bit, but when you look closer you can see the extra texture and pattern. That's pretty neat. I like that a lot. Now I think I would like to add, well, really nothing. I just picked this up, and when it's laying on its, like, in the back of my table, you can't see the copper, and then I'm like, whoa, look at that copper. That's beautiful. Oh, I just love this piece of paper. Okay, sorry. I'm just going all over the place with my papers. What do we want to do with this? I think this needs some copper. Some more copper. If I haven't put it on already. I don't remember anymore. But I'm going to do, you know what I might do? Let's try this. So I've got these bubbles. I'm going to use the same stencil, but I'm going to put copper on them instead and see how it turns out. So let me grab my tube and we'll go with the flow here. Okay. Let's do that. Maybe some copper there. I'm just trying to sort of vary my strokes a little bit so that it's just random-ish. Okay, that's going to be all the paint I use, I think. Okay, let's do a little bit down here. I'm trying not to neglect my edges. And that might be all my paint. Yep. Okay, let's see what happens. Ooh. That's a good one. We got a winner. What do you think? Yes. That's really nice. Okay, let's do one more sheet. And I'm going to try to pick this up. So what I'm going to do is grab, let's let's do this purple lake for the last time. And I'm going to try to put on a thinner coat. And I'm going to try to clean my jelly plate with the last pull. And hopefully the last pull will have some of that texture on it too. So we'll see. And then I will have less to actually wipe off once I'm done. And we'll hopefully get another beautiful paper out of it. All right, let's see what we got. And I'm going to give it a good rub. I think we're getting it. Ooh. This is a nice kind of toned down one, but it's got that sparkle from the copper in it. That metallic. Oh, that's gorgeous. Boy, I've had so much fun with this jelly plate today. So let's take a quick look at what we've got here. Let me just put my stuff aside so it's out of the way. All these crazy stencils. Okay, so this is our last one. Then we've got this beauty. We've got this. We've got that. That. This one, which was an accident, but I mean, I love how it turned out. So if you accidentally go over a stencil, I mean, it can still turn out pretty nice. So there you go. What else? Oh, I love this one. This one I think is one of my favorites. I just love the texture. It's beautiful. It's got the copper in it with those dots. Oh, we've got this one here. This one. Another one here. You can see that metallic. That's from that silver that's sort of see-through. A couple of these simpler ones, but I love the copper. I mean, oh my God, copper might be my favorite. This one kind of was interesting. It's got that sort of reverse print with the circles, along with this one. We did a lot of papers today. This one, and my other favorite is this one. I love how these turned out. So many papers and so many collages this will make. I mean, we made, gosh, at least 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, like 20 different papers, and they're all gorgeous. They're all gorgeous. You can't go wrong. You pick a couple of colors out. I did have sort of a pile of paints. I'm not going to lie. There's quite a few over here off screen. But I didn't really use that many. I had a couple of metallics, I had a white, and I mostly worked with sort of pinks and blues, and you get all this variety. It's wonderful. There's just so much here, and you can use it for so many projects. It's incredible. So I hope that you enjoyed this with me as much as I enjoyed making it, and until next time, keep creating.